Alright, so it is, gotta think of the day, Saturday. Yeah, Saturday, the 6th of October, 2012. So, just a couple things I was going to talk about today. I worked last night, and I work again tonight, and I usually don't do vlogs in between when I'm working, y'all, because I'm usually really tired and I don't give myself a whole lot of time once I get up to the time I have to go to work. But I got up a little bit earlier today, and I just felt like answering a couple questions that were asked last time. So, first things first, whether I was still doing the Insanity workout. I did it for about a week, and then I had to work for 3 days in a row, and I tried to keep doing it, and then I was just too tired, and I didn't motivate myself. So, it stopped. I still have it, and I can still pick it back up. I think this thing's shaking my arms already. I'm still waking up. But I haven't given up on it. I just gotta restart it. Because that's how I am. I get distracted with things, or I get too tired, or if I break this cycle, then it's done, and I gotta restart. But I still have it, and I can still do it, and all that. It was really hard for, of course, the first couple days, and it stays hard, but I was able to do more and more of the exercises. And by the end of the week, I was able to finish the entire the entire routine for the day. I had to stop a couple times in between, like I couldn't finish the number of reps that they wanted. But even the people on there couldn't finish the number of reps that they wanted, and those people had done it at least once or twice, like the entire program. So it's because you push yourself as much as you can each time. It doesn't mean that you're going to be able to do everything over and over without having to take a break, and you're not going to be like that. So you're still going to have to stop at times because you're pushing yourself, and that's just the way it's designed and what it's supposed to do. So the other question was about my new position, which I've been in since sometime the beginning of June, and I've been finished with my orientation period since the end of June. So for about 2 months now, I've been on my own, doing my job as the bed management coordinator. And it is more of a management type position in a way, probably not the traditional idea of what you think of as management. I don't have people below me that I'm telling what they need to do or keeping them on track and things like that. What I do is I have a little office, and there's one bed management coordinator in the facility at any given time within a 12-hour shift, because we switch off at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. So like tonight I go in at 7 o'clock, tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock I'll leave. I'm the only one that's going to be there to do this job, which is when outside facilities, outside hospitals, want to transfer a patient to our facility for higher level of care, they call me, and the doctor calls me and tells me about the patient that they want to send. So I ask them all the questions and get the details about it, and then I decide which physician I need to call, who would be appropriate to accept this patient under their care, whether it is a surgeon because the patient has appendicitis, or a gallbladder issue, or depending on how severe it is, things like that. And then I decide which physician to call. I call them, I tell them about the patient, tell them where they are, what their situation, what their issues are, and some of their background history and things that might complicate it. And then they'll say whether they're going to accept them or not. And most of the time they do accept them. And then once they accept them, I have to decide which unit within our facility that patient should go to, which one is going to be the best level of care for them, whether it's a regular medical surgical floor, or whether it's an ICU, or a step down from the ICU, or if it's a renal floor, if it's a dialysis patient, things like that. But I do a lot of other things, like after-hour surgery scheduling, and there are just a lot of things, logs to keep, and then there's some reports and things that we have to send out every morning and things like that. So I don't really consider it administrative exactly. It's kind of like a hybrid, but the actual term for it, like I said, is bed management coordinator. We manage the beds. We keep an eye on how many beds are available on each unit and how many beds are available in the whole facility. And we keep in close contact and communication with the house coordinator, which is a nurse that supervises all the staffing and divides up the staffing for the different units, who needs how many nurses, how many patient care associates, things like that. And then any other issues that come up, pretty much they call the house coordinator. So they kind of do a little bit of everything. So that's that. One last thing that I was going to talk about is I read the news about every day, and I know there are a lot of news shows out there, Philip DeFranco and a bunch of other ones, and they talk about the news and all that, and they go off on their tangents and all that. I didn't used to like to watch the news or read about the news because there's so much violence and things like that that are in the news, and there aren't so many of the good stories. So I was thinking maybe I'll start putting in maybe a vlog here and there about newsy type stuff and things, as Philip DeFranco would say, and talk a little bit about those, not excessively or anything like that, but just kind of mention them, get a little thought on them, maybe ask a question about them. I know that's kind of like what Philip DeFranco does, but I guess you're influenced by the people that you like to watch and that you watch and things like that. But I'm not quite as colorful as Philip DeFranco. If you've seen any of my other vlogs, and you can tell in this one, that's just not my personality. I'm not the social butterfly. But there are certain things, like I've watched the debate between Romney and Obama, and I think there are some really good points there and contrasts between them. I don't usually like to get into political type stuff because people get really heated about that, and I don't care for arguments and rude comments and stuff like that because people disagree with what I think and things like that. I don't mind giving my opinion, but I don't like negative feedback. If they don't agree with me, that's fine and dandy. They can do that. That's their right. But I don't want them using foul language and being rude and things like that. They can say what they think and give their opinion on it, and that's fine. But when someone disagrees with you and then you try to pound your idea into their head, they're just going to dig deeper into their stance, and there's no way they're going to budge, especially after you have tried to make them change their mind. So people have to change their mind on their own, not someone try to change it for them, so that just doesn't work. So political type stuff, I don't really get into the religious type stuff on here because same thing as with political, people just get way too fired up about it and get rude and don't act in the manner that they should, really. Other than that, I read about all the other things, so I don't know why I'm repeating myself, but alright, so I'm going to let you go. This is almost 10 minutes long, and if you watch it all the way to the end, well, thank you very much. Ask me some more questions down below, and I'll be sure to answer those. And I'll think a little bit more about talking about some of the news that I go through. I use USA Today's app on my phone, and that's where I read it from. So I don't go to a bunch of different news sites and check to see if they're all saying the same exact thing. So this isn't a professional type vlog or show or anything. I don't get paid for it and all that, and I don't have a whole lot of time to go through and fact check with like 5 different sites to make sure everyone has the same story. So I could do a little bit of that maybe. Anyways, I'm going to let you go for now because it's going on way too long. And I will talk to you all later, so ask questions, leave comments down below.